Dude, Spider-Man that I had to double take on because I swear I thought it was really Andrew Garfield. Like, this dude was gorgeous. Because, like, I just happened to be walking up, and they were doing a shoot, and so I see him, like, and then he pulls the mask off, and my brain was like, holy shit, it's actually Spider-Man!
And welcome to the newest episode of Super Fancom. Sit back, grab some tea, or a cold one, because it's story time again. We are doing part 2 of convention stories. I'm Retro Rick, and I'm joined by Deej, the illustrator.
What's up, my fellow nerds and artists?
Hemlock Inks.
Hey, everybody.
And from the Mental Cast and You Can't Be Serious, we have Dollar Bill, Billy Carter.
Hello, my lady.
and Miss Chelsea.
Hey, guys.
Welcome all.
I do things with people on the internet. Woo!
Yes, you do.
Chelsea's my fellow cast member. Woo!
Now, welcome everyone. What we're going to do is go around with stories about cons we've been to, whether they be good, bad, ugly, or just confusing.
Oh.
Deej, you just got back from AwesomeCon.
Yes, I did.
A couple weeks ago. Care to share anything? How'd that go? How'd that con go?
Do you want me to start with a good one and then?
Yeah, we'll work our way.
All right, so I'll start with the first one. This was one of my favorite, like, cutest / cosplay moments. I went dressed as the Flash, like CW Flash, everything like decked out, got like a new cowl and such. And I was with my friend, and this little girl comes walking up to me with like the biggest smile ever, just like, Flash? And the mother comes up and goes, we've been looking everywhere for a Flash. She wants to meet her hero. And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. And I'm trying to play the part, and I'm like, hey, you going to help me stop Reverse Flash? And the girls just go, yee! Like, I was like Grant Goose in that day. This girl acted like I was the legit thing.
He's from my... Oh, sorry. The Grant's from, like, one city over from me. My friend went to high school with him.
That is awesome. Like, yeah,
he was a freshman when she was a senior, but yeah, he's really sweet. He's a very sweet kid.
I now know what it felt like to be Grant Goose in that day, just because this little girl thought it was the real thing.
That's really sweet.
It's a good start-off story. It really is.
Fuzzies.
Yeah, I thought we should start off nice because I went to a very interesting panel. I told Rick about this.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But how was the con overall?
The con was actually really fun. It's one of my favorite cons to go to. My only issue about AwesomeCon is a lot of times the people there, they don't know the schedule or they don't know what's happening. And this happened like 3 times in a row for every time I went there. It would be like, when's this guy showing up? Oh, he's supposed to show up at 3. 3 comes along. Where is he? Oh, we actually don't know. And they'll be like, oh, listen, follow the schedule on the map. And then, they hand the pamphlets, but then someone will go, oh, actually, hang on, the pamphlet isn't correct. Use the app that we have on iTunes or whatever. I'm like, okay. Then
God, I hate when they do that. Or it's a QR code to keep scanning. MagFest did that one year. It was terrible.
And my favorite was I had the VIP pass, which I thought meant gets you in the building a little bit earlier. And a lot of times, you show the badge, people go, oh, get in line. I did not know that you're the VIP. There was actually another entrance for you to go to. No one ever told me until one security guard said, wait, you're VIP? Why don't you just take the elevator? I'm like, what are you talking about? You're VIP. You're allowed to do that. I'm like, I've shown my badge to at least 5-6 different attendees. No one told me shit. But like a lot of times, the people there I meet are really cool. I never really have like a major bad moment. The celebrities, the people they get are really funny and also really cool. I got to meet Amy, my very crush, and
she's so sweet.
Oh, she is. She's the best. But yeah, other than that, it's like the staff is like someone needs to get on top of this. Because, my favorite was just a little quick story. I went in line to go meet Cole Sprouse for my girlfriend. I wanted to get his autograph. and staff came out to take him away for a Q&A. They said, listen, whatever position you were in line, come back around this time, you'll get back in line. And I was like person number 6. I was waiting that long. But they said, come back around at round 3, you'll be back in position 6. Me and the people in the front came back, and there was new people in the front going like, what are you doing? Why are you cutting the line? The guy told us to come here. It's like, what are you talking about? And we ended up arguing with the person. Like, no, look for Kevin. He told us. No one could find this one guy or any of the other staff. We had to argue with him until finally some supervisor came in and cleared. So it's like they need to fix their communication. That's basically what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
They need to fix communication, and they need to get their shit together. But other than that, it's a really fun convention that I would highly recommend.
Nice. And swinging over to someone who actually runs her own convention, Hemlock.
Hey.
You run Pop Cult, so...
Yeah. Pop Cult Anime Con in Framingham, Mass. So I listen to all this stuff so I can
better your
learn. And I know my stories later on will be about some Colossal Con issues.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Oh, I know that con all too well.
Yeah, so I have kind of an amusing story about my epic search for the dick.
Oh, yeah. Get that
The
dick.
kawaii cock that I was looking for. So I was at Anime Boston, was the last convention that I was just at, and that was like a big deal for us because we have a table there, we promote, do sand art with people, had bags we were giving out, we had flyers, everything. We were all dressed up. So I don't do a whole lot of shopping, but I try to get into the dealer's room, a little bit and try to spend some money. So I was looking around, and there was a dealer or somewhere, a vendor who was selling the cute little penis plushies. And they're kawaii, kind of like a thing. You'd have to Google them to see what the image looks like, but they're just kind of like these squishy pillows. So,
God.
I wanted one because I'm going to make a big one. But we
Oh,
needed
God. We need a model for reference.
We needed a model, and I will admit, we were going to basically steal the pattern, but we were at least going to buy one. So I saw people who had them, and I'm like, oh my God, where did you get it? And they're like, vaguely, like, oh yeah, the dealer's here, they're in the wall, up by the wall, and I think, in that room. So I literally circled the dealer's room on a hunt for the dick.
For the D.
Before listening to this at work, I was going to put on the headphones.
I know, right?
Get you that dick.
So literally walking around, I hit my 10,000 steps. I'm like, and of course I'm on a constrained time schedule because I got to get back to the table. So I'm like wandering around. Finally find literally the hole in the wall table that was selling them. And I get there, and they're like, we sold out 3 hours ago. And I'm like, no. So they gave me their business card, and they're like, look, you can just order them online. And I'm like, okay. So, and now, of course, I don't know what I did with the business card, but I'll find it eventually. So, yeah, so now we're going to order a big one, and then we're going to use it to create a pattern for an even bigger one.
Oh, God.
So I'm going to have, like, a body pillow size one that I'm going to take with me to all the conventions so that when we have our room parties, there will be lots of shenanigans.
My God, I can't. Just hearing you say that, I can't wait for Pop Cult now.
Oh, God.
So,
I might just get tickets to come to that. I mean,
Please, Billy.
You should. It's an affordable convention. It's just $40 for the weekend. The hotel is really great.
Rick.
Yeah.
Where is the Pop Cult?
Where is this?
It is in Framingham, so we're the other anime convention in Massachusetts.
Hotel is basically a castle.
Yep. It's the Sheraton Framingham, right off Route 90, so it's very easy to get to. Free parking. The hotel room rate's like only $119, and it's a flat rate, so none of this, if you have more than 2 people, you pay like more money kind of thing. It's just...
Oh, okay. That's good. I like flat rate. Anything.
Yeah. So, and it's the first weekend in August of this year, and it'll be our 4th convention actually. So we're slowly growing. I would
Okay,
like
your 4th year, so it's well established then.
Oh yeah, no, I've been in the convention business for a while, so I have quite a bit of experience. But I've been wanting to run my own show for a long time, so I was lucky enough to be able to get some seed money and kind of just went with it. So, and I work with a lot of great people.
No.
No.
That'll happen.
Hi, Dad. Hey, Cliff.
happens,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, Cliff.
Anyway, so that was my epic tale of my unsuccessful quest for Kawaii Cock.
The Kawaii cock.
I've Kawaii cock. All right.
Well, it's a penis plush. It's cute. If you like, Google them, they're like adorable little plushy.
I mean,
They're
I have pictures of the squishy dicklet. That's a dick. That's a dicklet. That's 3 little dicklets together.
Oh my god.
Hey, Billy, what, you got a story? Follow that up.
I got a small one. Not
You have a small little dicklet, Billy.
and a big one.
Big dicklet.
I got 2 of them. I got one growing off the side. No.
Calls it the Samuel Jackson.
I have
Yes.
questions. I don't want to know about them. But
It's your
I have
questions. All right. First story. This one involves Catlin Sion.
Oh.
Kitty cat.
Yes, our friend. I go up to Detroit for Youmacon about I've missed it, 2 years, but just about 2 years ago. And me and my friend Nicole, we go there with every time. And meet up there, and it never fails. There's this one guy every single year that creeps on her. It's there. He's just this real tall, lanky, dorky, awkward acting, just say the type of guy you wouldn't want to be alone in a room with.
One of them guys.
And he was like trying to put the moves on her, and she just wasn't having it, and I could tell it in her face. But she's so polite. She's so, doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. That type of. She's just the type of person. So me being me, I just walk up to her and I go, "I'm like, hey, hon," kiss her on the forehead, and the guy just completely shuts down.
Good job, Billy.
Yes, good
Just
work, Billy.
completely shuts down, and he goes, "Oh, this is your boyfriend?" I'm like, yeah, we've been dating for like 3 years,
Good guy, Billy.
and it's just boom, and he looks at me, and I'm just, I'm at that point, I was like 350 pounds, so I was so just massive guy standing next to this tiny little woman, and he's just like, I'm out of here, and he just walks away. He just walks away, and she goes, "Thank you."
Good guy, Billy. Job.
Second story, same con. This is probably 4 years ago. I cosplay as Mario on occasion because I make a good Mario.
I applaud you, sir.
Yeah, if you look at my
wanna
Facebook,
I've honestly want to cosplay as Mario from the Super Show. So is Captain Obama.
oh yeah, I'm trying to get that read everything for that. I want to do that one so bad. Anywho, I'm dressed as Mario, and I kind of do a combat Mario. I have like wrestling boots on, and I have a belt, and I carry a gun, and everything. And I'm sitting there. I'm tired, and my trunks are made out of fleece.
Oof.
Yeah, they're made out of fleece. So, but during the Youmacon, it's during wintertime, and it's Detroit, so it's cold, and it's by the river, so it's cold. So it does a lot of good having that. So I'm sitting down, I'm taking a rest, and early in the day, for what they some Japanese exchange students were in Detroit, and they went to the con. And I saw them walking around, and then I get down there, and I sit on the chair, and I'm just resting, and all of a sudden I hear this squee, the loudest squee I've ever heard in my entire life. And it was like, ah! And I wake up, I'm like, all right, who saw a guest? Like Johnny Young Bosch walking around or something, And there's like 8 Japanese girls running towards me.
Uh-oh.
It's not Mario!
And they come, they just surround me. And I'm like, am I dead? Am I in heaven?
Is this the Twilight Zone?
I have a heart attack and nobody told me? Lord. And then they started sitting on my lap, getting pictures with me and everything like that. And I'm just like, this is the best. And they followed me around most of the day.
Were you able to talk with them, or they're...
Oh, they spoke no English.
Oh.
They just wanted to follow Mario on the broken... the broken English that they didn't know. They basically said they wanted to follow me around all day.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So Mario's walking down the hallway.
Damn.
Mario's walking down the hallway, and he has 8 Japanese schoolgirls following behind him down the hallway. And my friend's like, "Are they going to tag with us the whole day?" I went, "Just let it go.
Just go with it.
Just go." I'm like, just roll with it. She's like, "Okay, it suits you." All right. Third story.
All right. Before we get to that, we'll go to Chelsea.
Okay.
I don't really have a ton of really good con stories. Probably the most fun I've had as just personally existing on one. For my favorite cosplay story probably is this past NecoCon. I cosplayed Inko Midoriya. Hello, Tom Hiddleston. I actually one of my phone alerts is him being encouraging. I'm like, I need that just every once in a while during the day. Oh, that's nice. Anyway, but yes, I was dressed up as Inko Midoriya or Mama Midoriya, and because my friend was dressed as Deku, and our 2 of my other friends were dressed as Chaco, and it was fun. And so, yeah, we would get, oh, hey, can we get pictures together? But the best part was at one point I had to split off from my main group, the rest of the cosplayers, and just go. So, I don't have a Deku. I don't have any other My Hero cosplayers with me. It's just me in what kind of looks like civilian clothes, really, but with a green wig. Right. And, if you've ever seen, I'm chubby, I'm cute, chubby, kind of mom-looking-ish. But especially in that outfit, I kind of I rounded my face even more with some makeup, reverse contouring, I guess. Rounded out my face instead of make myself hey, cheekbones. It was no cheekbones, everything round. Blush. But yeah, so occasionally people oh, group, take a picture. But when I was on my own, I got stopped between the, not even, maybe a third of the way into the convention hall when I realized I had to turn around because I left something in my room and I went back to get it. I think I had to go back for the Tylenol I needed because my ankle was starting to throb because I have bad ankles from time. But I had to go back between where I was, only about a third of the way into the center, to my hotel room to get the stuff. I got stopped 10 times for pictures of other Dekus who are Mom! And run up and hug me and pose for pictures. It's all just really cute. And then they did a photo shoot that day as well, and I found I was the only Inko at the entire convention, and we have my favorite picture from that whole shoot it's me and an army of Dekus. And
yes,
so cute. And then we they were doing ship photos, and it was well, that maybe so. And then there was an All Might, but it was a skinny All Might, which is perfect because that's the one they tend to ship with Deku's mom. And so there's pictures of me and an All Might, and then someone was do it where she's yelling at him, and I'm yes. The All Might is doing the on his knee, begging forgiveness shit, and I was that's a good picture. I like that one. But yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure the header photo on my Facebook, if you go stalk me on Facebook, maybe I think it's still the header photo on my Facebook is me as is the photo of me and the army of Dekus. Which it makes me happy. It's cute. They're cute.
That just sounded adorable.
It really is just one of the cutest things I've ever seen in my life.
Okay,
I got kids.
Deej, heading back to you.
Yep. So I have two stories. These are more of the the first one is to this day I don't know what the hell happened, and the other one is like the more cringy one. Both bad, like the bad stories I was saving for, and these are both at AwesomeCon. So one year, not this year for the last story. 2 years ago, my most popular cosplay that I do is Newt Scamander. So if any conventions, I get stopped every 5 minutes. People are going like Newt Scamander or Hufflepuff Pride. So like it's like that's literally
Fuck you, Puffs. No,
it is literally my most popular cosplay. And so people come your picture, yeah, sure, no problem. And then finally, this one kid comes up to me, like super like uncomfortably close, and he mumbles to me like, "Can I take a picture?" And I'm like, yeah, like right up. Now imagine that, but like right up to your face.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, sure, dude, no problem. I'm about to pose for him. I swear to God on my life, and I don't know if this means anything. I don't know what the fuck happened. He hands me a tiny purple Thomas the Tank Engine little model figure to hold. Then takes the camera, takes a picture of it of just my hand of the figure, takes it back, goes, thank you, and walks off.
Well,
I'm so freaked out.
You cannot make that crap up. And I look at my friends, we're all just like, what happened?
Was it Chris Chan?
It was too scary, Chris Chan.
If it was Chris Chan, I'd believe it.
I tried to. Sometimes I go on Instagram, and if I look up AwesomeCon picture, I will actually find pictures of myself. So I'm like desperately looking through Instagram. I'm looking Newt Scamander, purple Thomas the Tank Engine, because I'm like find it. I'm like, did he post this picture? Is it or
No,
did he just stash it away somewhere? And I'm feeling horribly creeped out to the point where it's like I need to shower.
Back off material.
Well, it's funny though, but somewhat similar, though probably not. My cousin had in his garden, he has like the pink flamingos. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently, they went missing. And he like posted about it on Facebook. He's like, oh, I don't know who stole my pink flamingos, but they're gone. So apparently a couple weeks later, one of them reappears. And he's all confused, going, what the heck just happened? Well, apparently a couple's friends were going on trips, and they took his flamingo with them on their trip and took photos. They made him an Instagram account. It's Fred the Flamingo. And they took all these photos. In fact, he's actually in Boston during the Anime Boston thing, so they got a picture of him with a really cool Iron Man cosplayer. They took him to Niagara Falls. It was really just adorable. It's the kind of thing that you kind of wish that your friends would secretly do for you. And but yeah, so sweet. Unfortunately, his other flamingo, which was Flo, I believe, I did disappear. But at least we're on vacation. So, and when you were telling me this thing about the tank thing, I was kind of like, I wonder if that's that kind of situation, or if it was just something weird.
That's what I thought. I'm like, is this a new meme that I don't understand? The purple tank engine? What's going on here? I did not know what the hell.
It's a meme now, Dan.
The purple Thomas. I don't know. But for the others,
like a sex position.
Oh, good lord. Oh, don't soil Newt Scamander.
Let's do the purple Thomas.
For the
Thomas
with the Kawaii cock.
Oh god.
Oh hell no! I ain't touching. Get that thing away from me, y'all. You know what's creepy is it's probably some kind of like. Okay, so we're making fun of it. So there's the two options that possibly this person is some form of a handicap.
Mm-hmm.
Or there is also the chance that they were going to go masturbate with that or something, and they're just a fucking creeper and a weirdo.
Yeah.
God damn it, where's my remote?
Or already did it and figured who could I get to pose with a picture of this.
Oh yeah. Like this is my masturbatory aid. Let's see how many I can get to take with it because that's also my kink.
No, Jim.
Fuck. I'm sorry. Are we allowed to swear on this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I kicked my headphones out.
Here I have been talking about, and you're like, "Are we allowed to swear?"
Oh, I mean, soft swears, and then there's like hard swears, and like, fuck is a hard swear? But
Nah, we
Gosh.
good. We good.
dang it, that crap in a hat. Where's my ding dang gone remote, y'all?
Billy,
We having technical difficulties, or should I wait, or should I just?
He's on mute apparently.
Oh, there we are. All right, y'all's good. I'm good. Go ahead.
All right. Should I just do the?
Yeah.
Okay. So for this next one, so it was this year at AwesomeCon. They were doing a panel called "Busy" and what we should do about it, and that actually piqued my interest, mainly because a few days ago, me, Retro Rick, and a couple of podcasters got together and we did a podcast called "Fandoms Ruining Franchises." So I was really curious to see if these people had like a different perspective of things. And I go to the panel, and it starts off pretty good. They're talking about certain issues that people deal with, like online harassment. They talk about how the woman who plays Rose Tico in Star Wars, got harassed and shit, and that was totally uncalled for. It's so I was like, yeah, I agree with that. But then it starts delving down to the point where they start saying questionable stuff. They start saying like it's like they're trying to focus on one fan base in general, saying the only real toxic fan base is the Star Wars fan base. They're the worst fan base ever created. And
I'm sorry, the Steven Universe fan base.
Thank you.
I wanted to say, the guy goes, and then he goes, and listen, you all have to understand something. The new Star Wars movies, they're better than the originals. They're always better than the originals. The original is low quality and shit, and
were they trolling or were they?
I really want to believe that, and this is what made me think that they were trolling. But when I was at the panel listening to this, I felt so dirty and uncomfortable listening to it. Like, I apologize to anyone who feels that way. I say that. They pick up and says, "Listen, you have to understand something. White privilege is a thing. You have to accept it. But here's what you can do with your white privilege. If you see someone online being harassed, go stop that person, because if you're white, they will stop."
Unfortunately,
and
completely accurate. Yes, please use jam privilege, y'all.
I have kind of weird. I can understand like sticking up for your friends or something like that if you see me being harassed or you stand up for the person in general. But I don't think just because I'm white, it's going to stop them. If anything, there are people who are just assholes for the sake of being assholes. They don't care if I'm white or if I'm any other color. They're still going to attack.
Yeah, and
I mean, yeah, there are going to be those assholes who stop just because you're white, but that means they aren't going to stop for anyone. But there are going to be those people who's like, oh, I can take shots at this person because it's a woman or because it's, a person of color or they're gay or whatever. But if you are a cis-het white boy, they're going to be like, oh, shit, this guy is like me, and maybe I should stop. But also, if you're smaller than them, they're probably not going to stop either because they're a-holes. But, yeah, sorry. Speaking as a woman who gets harassed and shit, yeah.
No, that's perfectly fine. I mainly speak from experience where it's from being like harassed, mostly from online gaming, and that one time I had a serial stalker. It didn't matter if I was white. It didn't matter if I was white. They would still viciously attack back and all that. So I had to like stand up for one of my friends or someone.
But basically, you felt uncomfortable during that whole panel.
It was like as a white guy myself.
Cringy.
It was hearing
cringy.
that just made me feel a little weird and cringy. And they said a bunch of other things, but they kind of lost me when they were trying to say like only Star Wars are the worst fan base ever and shit. And it's just like I'm like you could argue, yeah, there's a bunch of bad eggs in there, but I would argue the worst fan base that I've ever met was either Universe or Rick and Morty fan or Rick and Morty.
Oof.
Well, I'll give Rick and Morty fan base.
League of Legends is pretty trash too.
Well, they're mostly 12-year-olds, but
They're fucking awful.
I mean, I'll give the Rick and Morty base this. They're annoying. but they haven't driven somebody close to suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to give them that much credit.
No, I do. I always just make the remark of I laugh when they try to say like, oh, you don't get Rick and Morty because you're not smart like us. We're the smarter people. We're the smarter fan base. And yet,
oh yeah, wubba lubba dub dub.
Yeah, this is the same fan base that basically freak out over a packet of sauce. They went crazy.
Yeah. Well, did you remember the name of the people who did the panel?
I wish I could. I think my friend Kevin might remember. If I'll gladly tell you, I just remember it was people I never heard of. If I should have wrote notes. I tried to write notes, but I was just too busy cringing at everything that they were saying.
Yeah, and it was. I remember saying like, if you would have gotten up and left, they would have like probably singled you out.
Oh yeah, they would have.
No, they did. Well, that's the funny thing was they didn't even bother. Every other panel I ever went to, there was always like, no matter what the discussion, it was always, oh, we'll ask questions, or what are your thoughts? That they asked the audience. This one was basically straightforward. This is our thoughts. We're done. Bye, and then they start leaving.
Wow.
So no room for diversity of thought.
Yeah.
Sounds accurate.
It was, yeah, and I immediately text Rick. I'm just like, you would not believe what I went through.
Yeah. And I was like,
most people don't believe those people are out there that are like that, and then when you actually see it, you're like, oh my god!
The people that they exaggerate or supposedly exaggerate and draw on those shows, they exist.
They do exist.
Yeah, those types of panels I stay away from. Like this year at Kineticon, there's about like 5-ish, there's like weird panels this year. There's like one about gun safety. There's one about some
What? Shit, I don't know.
yeah, there's one about gun safety. There's one about a Massachusetts governor.
I think starting to throw it's like, this is a convention, but this is a convention with a theme.
No, Kineticon has no theme. It's just...
we started talking about Kineticon again?
Apparently the theme is being shitty.
Yes.
Yes.
From what I understand, being shitty.
Well, here's a story for you all. This episode is brought to you by the Green Tea House, home of all natural herbal teas. Get free shipping off your order over $50. Buy the Humble Bundle, where you can buy tons of fantastic video games delivered to your inbox each month. You can cancel anytime. Buy JList.com, where you have a friend in Japan, where you can get snacks, cosplay, imported video games, just by using our promo code at the end of your order to get 5% off at checkout. Buy Kawaii Box for a small fee. Get a loot crate of cute stuff from Japan every month. And finally, buy Things from Another World, a place to buy comics from DC, Marvel, and more, tabletop games, Funko Pops, and more. If you want it, they have it. It's for the very best in pop culture. Our links are in the description below. Check it out. Also, if you don't want any of that stuff, but would like to support us, check over our Patreon page to get cool kickbacks. Or by PayPal. Every dollar amount helps, keeps the show going. Find all these links in the description box below. Thank you for your time. Back to your show.
And speaking of shitty, Hemlock, ColossalCon.
Oh, where's my
I can't wait to
cup?
hear about this because I've
been there.
Ever.
Well, no, right. So, and it's weird because it's died down.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
It's they pretty much they cooler heads prevailed, and they kind of swept it under the rug, and people like managed to calm people down. So, but basically how I first learned about what happened was there's a group for fellow convention organizers like myself, and we post things and we point out things, and somebody pointed out kind of like this PR thing that was going on with ColossalCon. So I was like, oh, well, let me take a look at this, because you can always learn something, right? So I took a look, and basically what had happened was someone got a wait list notice, not a rejection. They were sent a boilerplate wait list notice for their panel. And they kind of wrote a butthurt reply, kind of, very passive-aggressive in my opinion, about, this is disappointing, and why don't you reconsider? And then, because apparently they couldn't wait long enough for the convention to receive them, they then posted the screenshots on social media and then proceeded to let people, white knight them. But then some people kind of need that reassurance or whatever. But the problem was that somebody then went and posted on Colossal Con's actual Facebook feed going, explain yourselves. And the PR person, I don't know, was having a bad day or something. And even though they should never have responded at all, really, to the person, they just kind of opened their mouth and stuck their foot in it. And they just... It got worse because they kept posting, and then they up DACon for no apparent reason that I could.
Oh no!
Yeah, because it was, and I wish I had the receipts in front of me right now, but I don't. I actually did a more in-depth rant about this on my own personal page, but it was one of those things where people got fired. They had to write this apology, which was frankly kind of half-assed, and then they left the comments open on the apology. So 700 plus comments later, I think they deleted it, or they did something with it, because now you can't find it anymore. But yeah, it was from start to finish, it was just a nightmare. And honestly, it really boiled down to the one girl, and I call her the explain this bullshit girl. She wasn't the person...
Explain this bullshit!
Yeah, that's basically how she kind of opened up the post on the Colossal Con's Facebook feed, right? And then she included, the screenshots of, again, a boilerplate form email that said you're on the waste that was sent to somebody for a panel, right? And Colossal Con's HR person should have been like, hey, you're not the person who submitted the panel. We can't really talk to you about this. We'll get back to the person who submitted the panel. Thanks. That's all they had to say. It's one of those things where Colossal Con, any convention, they don't owe anybody anything. You're not entitled to a panel. And it can take weeks to create a schedule. So if you get on a wait list, that's not the end of the world. It just means you didn't quite make the first round, and you might make the second round. You just got to be patient. But with the panel, I don't understand where she didn't get the fact that it was a boilerplate, form letter. Everybody got the same exact copy of a form letter, right? And why she thought that responding to this email with this passive-aggressive kind of you should reconsider kind of thing was going to help her case. Because
you don't do that to conventions.
No. And again, as I was saying, in my kind of when I was pretty livid about this, it wasn't... Because, again, I thought there was a lot of fault on both sides. Though Colossal Con definitely stuck their foot in it. But for the panelists, they should have kind of kept a level of professionalism that if you want a convention to work with you, whining about something doesn't want to make them want to work with you. Yeah. And then the girl that explained this bullshit girl, I believe she was somehow involved with the panel as well. I don't know if she was an actual panelist or she was a friend of a friend, but she certainly helped matters. And I liked the idea of their panel, but I would, as an organizer myself, I would hesitate to work with them considering how they behaved. Because A, you don't know what they're going to post about something about your convention, if something goes wrong. Like, maybe something didn't go 100% perfectly at the convention, and then you got to worry about bad PR from them. Or you don't know how they're going to react at the convention if somebody doesn't like their panel and maybe heckles or something like that. Yes,
Sorry. Hi, Tom.
That's right,
Hi,
Tom.
encouraging phone text alert. What he's
Tom.
saying is you mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger thing. And it's my producer friend who's trying to get me into films and production and all sorts of stuff. He wants me to do some acting, and I'm just like, oh, I'm very self-conscious. And no, do it. It'll be great. You're gorgeous. And I was like, but that's why that's...
Tom can whisper in my ear at once. And we will definitely dream of a little bigger. Anyway.
Okay. Have a story about that when this is all done.
Okay. So yeah, it was the whole thing with the Colossal Con rubbed me the wrong way because you had panelists behaving horribly, and then you had the convention PR people kind of being like, what they actually ended up saying was appropriate because they brought up this whole like, oh, well, if you want to do these kind of, social justice warrior panels or whatever, go to something like DashCon. And I'm like, you don't bring up DashCon was a failed convention that everybody makes fun of.
That's
and no longer exists. You don't tell somebody to go to a convention that no longer exists. Okay, that's just not cool. There's nothing customer servicey about that. So, and I believe that person ended up getting fired from the PR position, which obviously they should have been.
Right.
It was he.
Like, that's kind of going off that story. That kind of reminds me of BubbaCon.
BubbaCon?
Yeah, BubbaCon. I've never heard of this until on Twitter Mars Girl brought it up.
It's like a con made from Bubba Hotep.
No, that'd actually be fun. It's a convention in Louisiana.
There's nerds down there, all of them.
So one of their guests was Vic McNana man.
Vic McNuggets. Vic McNuggets. I have a Vic Mignogna story that only tangentially involves him, and it's all about, just sideline real quick, my super short. I went to a Whose Line Is It anime. Somebody, I can't remember what it was. Somebody was like, okay, I don't remember even what the prompt was, but the scene ended up being every other person in this panel who were both staff members and other voice actor guests shitting all over him for being a dick to work with.
I've been to that before.
Prima diva. And like they were all like, "Oh God, this bitch!" And I was just like, "What did I start?"
I've been to that panel at Otakon once.
God.
Oh God, I almost peed myself. I was laughing so hard.
But yeah, they actually booked Vic Mignogna for their guest panel, and on Twitter someone goes, "Well, I guess Monica Rial isn't coming up," and the con responds, "Good, she isn't invited anyway."
Oh no!
Yeah.
Now I have to kill you. Sorry.
That's like another like, you don't say that. But you're called BubbaCon, so.
I just love that name though.
Yeah.
I just love the name.
BubbaCon.
I mean, really. I mean, come on. I mean, a nerd convention south. I mean, what are you gonna name it? You know what I mean? BubbaCon. It's just.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in Louisiana.
That's.
Then you get like what happened with KamehaCon, with them booking Vic Mignogna 3 weeks before the actual convention and not telling anyone.
That was a pretty bad move.
Yeah. And
Why would they book him and not tell anyone? Because the reason you have guests is to get people to come to the convention, not.
Yeah, and it's a Dragon Ball Z convention.
Oh, they had people show up. Oh, trust me, they had people show up.
Yes, and fellow person of the... Well, this is a whole other side story. during that whole Kick Vic back thing, when he had his little Kickstarter thing to raise money for his lawyer bills, a friend of the channel who's been on a couple times, Meef, created a GoFundMe page for domestic abuse, saying "Kick Vic back," or
oh jeez,
yeah, I tweeted this at Mars Girl, which whole thing, because I said if you feel like sharing this, please do. If not, sorry I bothered you. So she does, and within like an hour, I was getting like threats, and then my buddy, who doesn't have Twitter, was getting like harassed on the GoFundMe page about how dare you do this? I bet hopefully that money you get will be saved up for your lawyer bills because you're getting sued or something like that. So
What?
I don't know. Then he managed to raise about $30, and then like I kept getting like tweets from like people saying, "How dare you do this? Vic is a great guy. You're just people like Marco who don't know anything." And then like out of nowhere, something weird started to happen. This guy was like documenting like everything with his Kick Vic stuff, and he ended up doxing my buddy.
Wow.
He actually found out what state and what area he lived in. I told this to me. He got super scared, shut the thing down, and gave the $30 to a local women's shelter. And as soon as the page said shut down, that's when I kept getting, "You should delete your account. You're good for nothing. Oh, he only raised $30. A good lot of that will do." Yeah.
I've stayed out of the whole drama.
Yeah, I've kind of stayed out too, but
I really don't give a crap what happens. I don't. I'm not a fan of his. I don't hate him. I'm just not a fan of his. I'm really not a fan of any voice actors that are in anime.
It's understandable.
I mean, I like Phil Lamar.
Yes.
Well, I'm kind of going through something similar, but with Jim Cummings, after what his ex-wife started releasing out, threatening that she's going to tell the world that Winnie the Pooh is a rapist and a animal abuser.
And
There's a
says that they booked him like 3 days after that happened. They actually posted, and like, you had to do this now. You have to wait at least a month. Come on. It was poor timing.
I don't know. Yeah, with the Vic Mignogna thing, I haven't been paying too much attention to there. I did work with him as guest relations like many, many years ago when Full Metal Alchemist was first coming out. And he was really popular back then. You know, as again, guest relations, didn't have any problem with him that I could tell. Looking back on it now, I don't know if there was any grooming activities going on. I don't think I'd be the kind of person that'd be able to really determine that anyway. But my thing with anything like that, and I know it's difficult sometimes for women to come forward and press charges, but I really think that if people are going to make those kind of accusations, they really need to do it in, through legal channels and have people, allowed to have their day in court. Because it's difficult to go online and smear people, because you can say whatever you want about somebody online, and it does sometimes count to like he said, she said stuff, but it's like we have a courts of law. Let's, it's like if you need to press charges and let's have somebody have their day in court.
Yeah.
Before you actually go and either ruin their career or, because it's one of those things where I have people that are sending me anonymous messages trying to get some of my staff fired. And it's like, can't do that, And we've called these people out because I was like, look, you can't send me anonymous messages and expect me to take you seriously. You got to actually step forward, say who you are, and and make it actually not you're some jealous person trying to get somebody fired. So
I have a. I've never told anybody this. This is one of my con stories. All right. About 12 years ago, I would say, I worked a con, and I was his handler.
Oh.
I was Vic's handler.
Oh,
with guest relationship.
Yeah. Now, he didn't treat me mean. He was a perfect gentleman. Treated me nice. Whenever it came down to, like, he bought me breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow.
While I was there, I was his handler for the whole weekend. He said, he went to the hotel, and he goes, well, what room are you staying in? Well, I'm on this floor. He goes, all right, I'm going to get you changed on my floor.
Nice.
And I was the adjoining hotel next to his. I was with that man from the time he woke up to the time he went to bed. And just on my account, from when I was there, I saw no anything that went on wrong. That's just that day.
Right.
You can't. I mean, I'm not trying to defend the man, but I'm saying
it really sounds like you're defending him.
I'm just saying it was that day that I was with him.
He's just saying that while Vic just did nothing too shady that day. That's all he's just saying.
It's one of those things where it's the same thing with me too. I was in guest relations with him as well. I didn't say anything, but again, that was my experience. I obviously am not somebody who would be pressing charges, etc. I don't know how to say this, but yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know. You don't know, because obviously this person wasn't a creeper 24/7. You know, so it's one of those things where yeah, well, it's just one of those. Who knows? I'm not a court of law.
Yeah.
I can't make that judgment. I'm not going to make that judgment. If people need to press charges, they press charges. That's all I want to say. That.
Second, Billy, I almost thought you were gonna go into a different route.
Oh.
No, talk about that someone else.
Oh, who would that?
Justin.
Oh, Justin. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to discuss that. He's dead. I'm not gonna want to talk about that.
Anyone else have a good like?
I have a funny one.
Like I know you have like one of Red Hood or not Red Hood. You know.
Oh, you're talking about Red Hood too.
After Billy.
I was at Colossal Con, and I'm standing in line. It was the second day of the con. Let me stress this to anybody that's listening here. Rule number 1 when you're at a convention, bathe. Bathe. There is a 12-hour period. You will be doing nothing. You will be in your bed. Bathe before then. When I'm at a convention, I'm a big guy. I need to bathe. I mean, at least once a day. So I'm standing in line. I'm going to get to the dealer's room, and I am just smelling the worst BO imaginable. And I'm thinking, I have a friend in front of me, and I have 2 friends behind me, so it's not any of them. And I'm just smelling it. I'm like, hold on, I leave my place in line, and I'm just kind of like walking by down the line, seeing who is the smelly person. You know what I mean? And then I go and I'm like, where's it coming from? There is a guy that was across the hallway.
Oh, you smell from down the hall.
I mean, he was probably 40 yards away from me.
Oh.
Wow.
I could smell him 40 yards away, and the closer he got, the worse it got, and it just got worse and worse as closer it got. And I turned around to my friend, I said, that's the guy we're going to bump into all day. She goes, what do you... I said, that is the guy that because there's always that one person that you always bump into every time you turn around at a con.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what room you're in, no matter event you're at, they're there. All right? And sure enough, every panel we went to,
You saw him there.
just about every room we were in, they're stinky.
Yeah, and now we have a whole meme based around that.
Just
Isn't that right,
illuminating
Hemlock?
everything.
Yes, and it's funny because it's not a new thing. I mean, we used to talk about the Febreze Ninja. Do people remember that?
Oh, the Febreze Ninja.
I mean, it's, unfortunately, as you get a lot of people in a small space, and not everybody has the same group habits. And yeah, we used to talk about the Febreze Ninja at conventions. I used to have a bottle of Febreze that we'd keep at the table.
I mean, I've had cosplays that I've Febrezed. I mean, if I was going to wear it the same day, and I hung it up, I sprayed Febreze around it, and I let it do its job. I didn't do it while I was still wearing it.
You know how there's Trojan Man? There should be Febreze Man. So anyone who's won the con and smells like crap just runs in Febreze. Just
Hey,
starts
you
spraying the
stinky
shit.
asshole!
Yes.
Well, that's kind of the Febreze Ninja thing.
Shower. The fuck.
Yeah, we did.
Take
we
a
need
bath,
we
you
need to have,
dirty bitch.
We need to have DL on this now.
It got to the point that the guy was I was at a booth. I was looking at buttons, and the guy stood right next to me, and I'm gagging. I turned around. I couldn't help it anymore. I said, "Dude, I've been smelling you all day today." I said, "Are you staying here at the convention?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Go to your room. Take a shower." I said, "'Cause you're bad, man." He just gave me this look like, do you not smell yourself?
Some people can't.
I mean, this was like where you would follow him behind it. It like he left deposits as he was going down the hallway, and it lingered. I mean, it was like it would
linger.
It would walk, and then it would linger, and it would stay in one spot. It would stay there
Oh jeez.
for a good minute.
I think we need a new episode in the future. Convention do's and don'ts.
Yes.
All right. Chelsea, almost called you Trish. Do you have any anything other?
I have like some stories just involve like meeting random celebrities, like sitting at the hotel bar and I'm just chilling by myself. I think like reading a book on my phone and just having a drink. And this, out of the corner of my eye, I just see this very thin, very tall man fold himself into the seat next to me. So it's halfway to the end of the bar. And, he orders a drink and I turn over and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, hey." And it takes a couple minutes for me to click, and it helped that there was actually like pictures of some of the guests hanging around. It's Peter Mayhew.
Oh,
Cool.
So I just had like a nice, very casual conversation with him. It was very chill. He's very chill. Very nice guy.
nice.
Very cool. Who's in it? Yeah, so like just meeting random fucking
Yeah.
people. That's cool. Riding up in a David Vincent and having a just about my friend wearing a Sencat hoodie, and we're just having this. Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, I was in the elevator at another anime convention with Lil Karibo and the guy who
Oh, I love.
the guy who played Lord Zed, who was like he's the
Oh.
most, like the nicest old man, but he's like in his 50s I've ever met.
Axelrod.
Yeah, thank you.
I
met him
mean,
like a bunch of times, and he's like the nicest old man I've ever met.
dude, like I've hung out with. I know that would be the story to top all stories. Like I touched.
Wouldn't
Tom
it?
Hiddleston. Oh my god! Like, whew.
I don't know. That'd be awesome.
Alright,
I don't think
Hemlock,
past that.
what's the story you were trying to tell me at AB about Jason Todd?
Oh, there was a really good Jason Todd cosplayer, and my staff knows that I'm an insane Jason Todd fan. Like, I don't fangirl over a whole lot.
I'm gonna put it on silent. I love him. I love hearing Tom Hiddleston's voice, but it's becoming a distraction.
Tom is always a distraction.
Oh, I know. It's not fair for a human to be that pretty. Like, you're not even a girl. Stop.
Anyway, so while I do like Tom Hiddleston and Loki, I am a huge DC Batman / Jason Todd. So my staff knows that if they see a really good cosplayer, they need to get my attention so I can get a photo or have them come back. So I had been probably on my epic quest for the Kawaii Cock when apparently a really good Jason Todd cosplayer comes to the table. So everybody's like, you gotta come back. So he does come back, and he was has a really great costume, so I get all excited, and I'm of course dressed up as Zatanna, so I go over and we take photos and stuff. And then I got to play this fun little game that some of my girlfriends told me about called Helmet Roulette. And apparently it stems from the Star Wars fandom because obviously a lot of the characters or cosplayers wear helmets. It's always kind of a helmet roulette if the person takes off their helmet and what they're going to look like.
The best that it's not the gender you think it's going to be.
Yes. So anyway, I got to play helmet roulette with the Jason Todd cosplayer, and he was smoking.
Yeah, girl.
And the best part, his hair was not messed up, but perfect.
Wait.
That's
Hold on.
unfair.
Wait. I may have seen this cosplayer. When he takes it off, has he got dark hair and he kind of looks like he should be in a boy band?
Oh, he was hot.
I think I've seen this guy. I don't know if I can't remember. Yeah, I did that. Yes. Hello.
Oh my God.
No, my favorite was one time, a Spider-Man that I had to double take on because I swear I thought it was really Andrew Garfield. Like, this dude was gorgeous. Because, I just happened to be walking up, and they were doing a shoot, and so I see him, and then he pulls the mask off, and my brain was like, holy shit, it's actually Spider-Man! But it wasn't. I'm like, whoo. Also, can I point out, just if anyone who didn't notice, the two guys who have played Spider-Man aren't even American. They're both British.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland are both... Actually, I think Tom Holland might be Welsh, actually.
Yes, he's Welsh.
He's cute as a button. Oh my gosh. I want to adopt him, and he's so cute. I'm not actually old enough to be his mom, but I kind of want to be his mom. Just be like, ah.
That's too cute.
Well, I can't crush on him because it's kind of creepy, because he's 22 and I'm 31, and that's gross.
Aw. All right.
But being 31, the rest of the cast is fair game for me. I'll hit the rest of the Avengers cast. Let's do it. Girls, guys, everyone in between. Let's go. Gay orgy time.
And speaking of my insane love for Jason Todd, the one thing that I ended up buying for myself this year was from the Art Alley, and it was one of those body pillows of Jason Todd.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I have my own Wafu pillow. Of course, it's fan art, but it was wonderfully done and worth every penny. Very nice quality. And
some of those are expensive.
It was $70, but what can you do? You know? You gotta have it.
And I think it's time to close the book on Chapter 2 of Convention Stories.
Horny. Me.
We'll be back again with Chapter 3. Who knows who we'll have on. Can people find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at DJ Luongo Art.
Where can people find you?
Since I eat, sleep, and breathe conventions, you can find everything to do with popcultanimecon.com and popcultanimecon on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
Where can people find you?
All right, let me go down the list here. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, Dollar Bill Reviews. You can also find me on the Mental Cast and MVG Live. Mental Cast is every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock every Wednesday. MVG Live is usually Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays, 8 to 11. That is on Mental on Twitch. You can catch us there. There will be descriptions in the link below, probably.
There will be descriptions in the link below.
Yeah, that'd be about it.
Chelsea, where can people find you?
You can find me dicking about on the internet for the most part. Really existing in real life as a three-dimensional human being. That's not true. I'm a hologram. Not real. This has all been fake. I'm a completely computer-generated presence. You have been schooled by the AI. No, I exist. I don't know. I'm on Twitter. You can come follow me at Chelfie, which is CHELFFIE. That is for my general shenanigans. I'm going to tell you now, if you are hyper conservative, you're gonna have a bad time.
Just tell them the truth.
If you hate gays or you are just a general asshole, don't even bother following. But if you like dumb, nerdy shit and cute art based around animal puns, or, shit like that, yeah, come follow it. It's dumb shit. I post, I have a lot of artist friends I follow who post, also, do be careful. I occasionally repost porn art, like, let's say not safe for work fan art of certain things sometimes. I try not to. But sometimes it's just so pretty. I have a couple of Twitter friends with really good artists, and I just want to, maybe no one under 18 follows this. Oh, hell yeah, Hemlock, he's fucking gorgeous.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, yum.
And that was his hair after he took the helmet off.
That is unfair. My hair gets destroyed when I wear my flash cowl.
I mean, no, I swear, he took the helmet off and panties hit the floor, okay?
Where's that gif of Pam going, sploosh?
Oh, God. I love this show.
Unfortunately, he had a girl handler, so I don't know if that was his significant other or a friend, but he was being escorted, so...
But, yes, if I meet Chelsea... if you are into cool or in any sort of a gay, come follow me. Join the crazy pansexual disaster energy that I bring to everything. Enjoy all this shit. Hot cosplayers, Marvel memes, anime bullshit. Watch me not harass, but watch me get into really goofy arguments with celebrities.
Always a good thing.
Just have fun. Have fun. Follow me. I need the validation that only numbers can bring.
Numbers are everything.
I do also have a secondary Twitter that's a lot. It's not generally political at all. Like it just retweets like news stories generally, but not even usually U.S. news stories. It's a lot more world news because it's got travel pictures. Tips, food porn, and just general world news that I share. That account follows a bunch of like national news foundations and shit. And that's mostly just like that one's called Travels_Chelsea, which is my real first name, Chelsea. And yeah, I'm trying to be better about it. I just haven't eaten any really sexy food, so I haven't posted any good food porn pics. I haven't eaten anything beautiful. I'll work on it though. I'll try to eat more sexy foods.
You find me on Twitter at Rick. Follow the YouTube at SuperFancom. Follow the channel on Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Anchor at SuperFancomShow, or email us at superfancomshow@gmail.com. Check out our affiliates you heard during the break at J-List, Kawaii Box, The Green Tea House, Humble Bundle, and Bobby's World of Cards and Comics. For DJ, Hemlock Inks, Billy Carter, Chelsea, I'm Rick.
Good night.